Hello class 7 students, Grace ma'am here. Today we'll continue with the third chapter, the Delhi Sultanate 1206 to 1526 CE. In the last class we have discussed a slave dynasty, the Khalji dynasty and the Tughlaqs. Okay, total there are 5 dynasties, and as I have already told you, and in 5 dynasty we have discussed slave dynasty, the Khaljis and the Tughlaqs. Okay, today we'll start the Sayyids and the Lodhis. Okay, but before starting the Sayyids and the Lodhis, we will see administration under the Tughlaq. Okay, the Tughlaqs followed the administrative structure that was followed from the time of Iltutmish. They followed the administrative structure that was from the time of Iltutmish. Okay, Iltutmish had divided the empire into several small pieces of land called iktas, which were given to his nobles, officers, and religious leaders instead of salary. So, the nobles, officers, and religious leaders, they were not paid salary, but they were given small pieces of land called iktas. Okay, the officials and the iktedars means the nobles, officers, or the religious leaders who had that small pieces of land known as iktas, they were called iktidars, had to pay the king a portion of the revenue they collected from the land. So the king was getting the revenue from the iktidars that was collected from the land. They also had to maintain the troop, and the iktidars, they also had to maintain the troop. Since all these things were in the hands of the iktidars, this made iktidars powerful. Okay, because sultan was totally dependent on this supply of troops, and for the revenues they were dependent on the iktidars. This made iktidars powerful. Now the next is land tax. Land tax under the Tughlaqs varied from ruler to ruler. Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq reduced the land tax raised by Alauddin Khalji, while Muhammad bin Tughlaq raised it again, especially in Doab. These are the 2 points of administration under the Tughlaqs. Now we will see the Sayyids and the Lodhis. In your book, the 4th and 5th dynasty is given in one paragraph. Okay, now we'll read. The Sayyids and the Lodhis, 1414 to 1526 CE. The rule of the Tughlaqs was followed by that of Sayyids and the Lodhis. Their rule lasted from a little more than a century, from 1414 to 1526 CE. Sikandar Lodhi, 1489 to 1517 CE, was one of the better known rulers of the Lodhi dynasty. Under him, the Delhi Sultanate extended from present day Punjab till Bihar. He was an able administrator and encouraged trade and commerce. He shifted the capital of Sultanate from Delhi to Agra. Now the next is Ibrahim Lodi, and he is the last Sultan of Delhi Sultanate. Okay, Ibrahim Lodi, 1517 to 1526 CE, was the last Sultan of the Delhi Sultanate. He has been described as an arrogant man who treated the Afghan nobles with very little respect. Okay, the nobles revolted and invited Babur. Now who is Babur? Babur is the king of Kabul. Okay, he was invited by the nobles to revolt against Ibrahim Lodi. So they invited Babur, the king of Kabul, to help them overthrow Ibrahim Lodi, taking advantage of the situation. Now who is taking advantage? Babur, the king of Kabul. By taking advantages of the situation, Babur invaded India. He defeated and killed Ibrahim Lodi in the first battle of Panipat in 1526 CE. So what he did was he defeated and killed Ibrahim Lodi in the first battle of Panipat, that is on 1526 CE. The Afghan nobles, who were hoping that Babur would hand back the empire to them and return to Kabul, were disappointed. Now what happened? Afghan nobles, they called Babur, the king of Kabul, to help them overthrow Ibrahim Lodi. And they thought that after defeating and after killing Ibrahim Lodi, he will return to Kabul. But no, this didn't happen. He stayed on and founded Mughal rule in Delhi. So this much is the chapter. Okay, now 2 questions, question number 3 and question number 4, long questions. I have given you the answers. Okay, Write an essay on the strengths and weakness of Muhammad bin Tughlaq as a ruler. As we have discussed in the last class, that though he was a scholar, he had a deep knowledge of religion and philosophy. He was too open-minded, but still he was a person of hurry. Okay, he was a person who thought always ahead of his time, and so hence people could not understand him properly. His plans and intentions were good but carried out thoughtlessly and in hurry, which resulted in failure. There were three failures. First was shifting the capital from Delhi to Devagiri. Then the second was the increase of the land taxes in the fertile of Ganga and Yamuna, which farmers revolted, and he was forced to withdraw his order. Third was his exercise of issuing token currency also ended in fiasco, as there was no proper check to it. So all these were good. It was a good initiative, but suffered from lack of proper planning. And the next question is, which I discussed in the starting of this class. Discuss in detail the nature of administration under the Tughlaqs. How was it different from Alauddin Khalji? Okay, first we have to discuss the nature of administration under Tughlaqs. Then we have to differentiate it with the Alauddin Khalji. Okay, so the chapter is completed. I hope you are doing your homeworks. I'm also giving you answers as well. So do this 3 and 4 questions, the remaining questions in your copies. Then from the next class we'll start a new chapter. Thank you.